Welcome to Unscripted. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Paige. We have a special guest with us today. You want to introduce yourself?
Honey, Game with a Spray Tan has arrived. I'm so excited. Colt Paulsen here, living my best Kardashian life. So I'm happy that you guys included me on such an epic episode.
We're just glad you're here and that you care to be on our little pod.
Not little, honey. Y'all are huge.
Oh, you're so
Huge
sweet.
with a K,
With a K.
as we say.
Huge with a K. That's right. So we're going to be, well, I guess I should say, you're a bit of a resident, TikTok, Instagram, Kardashian expert. And Natalie and I freaking love to just, I don't know, in like maybe a bit of a nosy way and just like in an awe way, all things Kardashian. Like we watch the shows. I've been watching the show since it came out in like 2007 or 8 or whatever. But now that it's just Kardashians, I'm watching that one. We keep up with them. We're keeping up with the Kardashians.
The whole world does.
The whole world does. And why can't we stop? Like, what is it?
I think for me at least, it's we've been a part of it for so long. It's been decades of just obsessing over this family. But I also think my favorite thing ever is just like the term famous for being famous, because obviously the Kardashians wanted to be famous. So I don't think they care how they got there. But I think that's the term where it's like people are so hell-bent on going to college, getting a good job, all this stuff. But then here come the Kardashians, and they're the most successful family in the entire world. I mean, dare I say, they literally are America's royal family.
Oh, absolutely. And you look at Kris Jenner, and she didn't just raise 6 kids. She raised 6 brands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And probably more than that, because each kid has
Their own
multiple
brand.
brands under their own name. And it's incredible that she was able to not only make one kid a billionaire, but a couple and a few more are on their way to
Yes.
reaching that status.
Yeah.
Money, honey.
I was just watching one of your TikToks and you were talking about how, you can say Kim is famous for being famous, but I mean, look at what she's doing. She just launched some kind of Nike thing. I might need you to fill me in more.
honey.
She's doing something with Nike that's like not been done before with
Yes,
Nike.
it's not just Nike thing. This is like a first of its kind thing, and I'm so obsessed. And I really wanted to make a video. You know when you spend all your time and energy on a video, be like, this is going to
Yes.
blow up and pop up. Nope, less than 10,000 views, but it's okay.
I'm one of
because, okay, love you for that. But I was just like kind of wondering, like, damn, how is this not a typical like collaboration? Because it's not Nike partnering with Kim, it's Nike partnering with a billion-dollar brand, Skims.
Oh,
And I love that Kim's getting this like credit for just being a businesswoman and an entrepreneur, because you have the face of the brand, but then also the brand now stands on itself. Like Skims really does not need Kim to do anything.
True.
Obviously, she's the marketing mastermind and everything, huge part of it. But now it's Skims. Everybody's wearing Skims, like the tagline. It's just like Nike. Just do it. Everyone's wearing Skims, like everything. Like, so I feel like this collab is just like the first of its kind in the sense of it's not a collaboration. It's a full-on brand conjunction with a K, if that's the right word. Like the brands are coming together to create a mega brand.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just at Nordstrom yesterday, and all of the top floor of Nordstrom was basically Skims. So it doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah.
It's going to be accessible to the wider part of the U.S. and all over the world, too. Everyone can wear a little bit of Skims.
And I feel like with the Kardashians, like each one of their brands really just has like their touch on it. Like, maybe some of the skincare is a base formula with their name slapped on. But like at the end of the day, like they really put forward something. And maybe it's part of that like branding that each one of them has their own brand within themselves as well as those businesses, because like you feel it. Like Skims is so Kim, like the nude and the form fitting. I mean, obviously they have a lot of different colors, but like that whole idea, the like barely there kind of clothes.
Well, and I remember, you probably remember this a little bit better because you know so much about the Kardashians, but in the early Keeping Up with the Kardashian days, Kim would cut up Spanx and make her own. And so that was sort of the inspiration behind Skims. Which,
Literally. When Skims came out, I think that was like the most... my favorite thing ever is just like the launch of their brands and just like being a super fan, because the story goes she couldn't find what is it, solution wear? Well, she calls it solution wear, but body wear that was like matched her skin tone, shapewear that matched her skin tone. So she dyed it at the tea bag to match her skin tone. And that was kind of where the idea came of we need shapewear that matches skin tones. And like with the one-legged pant, like the body, like which like the slit for the dress, like those things where I was like, oh my gosh, this is so revolutionary. And I think that's one thing Skims does amazing at is obviously the basics, but the nipple bra, the fun out there brand products that it's like, whoa, I would have never even thought of that, but leave it to Skims to just be like, create a new problem. Like the new double chin strap. I'm like,
I was just
need
gonna
that
say,
instantly.
speaking of
Yes.
revolutionary items.
Okay, I need to be pulling up this chin strap because I was literally just saying, because we're filming, I was just talking about mine. So maybe Kim will be solving my problem.
Yes.
What's his name? The actor who played Hannibal Lecter.
He did a video on it.
He did a video
Yes.
on it, and he
No.
was wearing
Yeah.
it because his character in Hannibal
Yeah.
Lecter
Yes.
has a thing, like,
And like Silence of the Lambs or whatever.
Silence of the Lambs.
Stop it.
Well, that's what I also love too about the Kardashians is the realms that they're in. Like, it doesn't matter what sports covered, like beauty covered,
Yeah.
even horror movies covered. Like, they always have something on the pulse.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, for me at least, it was so easy to just create this TikTok fan page because I could relate the Kardashians to everything.
So true.
Content is endless. And I think there's no other celebrity that you could have a super fan go online and create a whole brand of just reporting on the family. And I think I owe that all to Kris Jenner for popping out so many kids,
Oh,
honey. Yes.
The woman, the myth, the meme.
I mean, I love my mom, but if I had to pick another one, instantly Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Hands down.
And not even on the level of becoming rich or famous or getting like instant brands. It's more on the level of like, she's involved in her kids' life. Like, they are family oriented. And I feel like you can see that in the show. And a lot of people will like, they'll say, oh, but like it's all fake. It's reality TV, but it's fake or whatever. And it's like, well, they're executive producers though. So what I love about the Kardashians shows is that throughout time, they've been the producers, like I said. So they're telling us the stories that they want us to hear, even if it's reproduced or, they do a pickup scene for it. They're still telling us what they want us to know. They're feeding us.
Well,
That's what they're doing in those shows. And they're kind of marketing their brands all the time.
So they're not only marketing geniuses, but they're entertainers. So
Yeah.
they're not necessarily famous for nothing because they
Yeah,
are
at this
feeding
point.
us with entertainment for the last 15, 20
Yeah.
years.
Yes.
Like Kim said with her interview with Barbara Walters, where that's when they got asked, like, you're famous
Of
for being
course,
famous.
Barbara Walters would ask that, by the way.
Of course.
Yes.
But I was one of go back to the Barbara Walters 10 most fascinating people. Like that actually I love those. And then when the Kardashians were on, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
But Kim's response is it's so much harder to be yourself
Yeah.
and get all eyes on you and be able to build a brand than to sing a
Yeah.
song, to be in a movie. I think that's where I loved, because obviously growing up in Nebraska being just a closeted gay boy, even though, honey, the closet was with a K, so everyone knew.
Okay.
But
Absolutely.
It was kind of like the family of it all. Like I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I want that. And then also just like Kim, it's like, whoa, you can just be yourself
Yeah.
and create an entire brand and just live your best life.
right.
And because I know we have watched TV shows or movies and we love actresses, but like, do we really know the actors?
Mhm.
We love the characters.
Yeah.
So I think Kim transitioning from the character as herself to now being in acting, like for me, it's like more fun to be like, you did it. Like you really are doing amazing, sweetie.
I would say, too, looking at the earlier days of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, they sort of felt a little bit more less structured in who they are as
Like
people.
branded and
Yeah,
whatnot. Sure.
nowadays, if you turn on Kardashians, you do get a sense of, all right, so Kourtney's the goth sister.
Yes.
you
True.
know, like Khloe is the fitness sister. So you get a sense of everyone has found their niche
Mhm.
throughout the years being in the spotlight. So it is nice that they each, can be themselves, but
Yeah.
represent every other person watching the show. Someone can relate to someone on the show.
Yeah. Well, I think so too. The Keeping Up was so different because obviously this was our introduction to the family. Like
Mhm.
not a full introduction because obviously the Kardashians were well known in pop culture for so long, but being the introduction of the show, I think season 3, I know some of the producers talked about like they couldn't go anywhere. Like it was just like these mega stars. So you
Yeah.
start off with no one knowing who you are. Season 2, it's just a hit. And season 3, you're global household names.
Yeah.
And I think that progression was so fun to watch from the beginning. And I don't think the Kardashians really wanted to leave E. I think it was just a money thing where it's like television's kind of dead. And I remember mourning the loss of what Keeping Up with the Kardashians was.
Yeah.
But smart for them to make the last 2 seasons 4 episodes each, because it was 4 or 6, because they were able to now do 20 seasons of Keeping Up, making it the longest running single cast reality TV show in the history of reality television.
I don't think I was aware of that.
Yeah.
That's just one more Kardashian,
Fun
accomplishment.
fact. Exactly.
Put it in the Guinness Book of World
And
Records.
Exactly. So, because most reality shows, obviously, like Survivor's been on for so many seasons, but that's a changing of a cast.
Very
the Kardashians
different.
have stayed the same. And I think the transition to Hulu was more, you mentioned executive producers. I think the Kardashians now are full on, not even executive.
Yeah.
They run the show. The executive
it's their
producers are
show.
assistant producers,
Yeah.
it feels like. But I feel like it's deserved. It's earned. And I think with Hulu's budget, they're able to feel like they can film and not feel like this, we deserve way more. Because when you think of E, you think of the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And I think when
They
they
built
left,
that brand.
yeah, it was kind of, what's the point of tuning into E? I know. It's sad because I miss television. I miss all those shows.
It's true. I really only stream. I mean, I have TV connected with like my internet because bundling just made it like more worth it, and it kind of gives you access to some of those streaming apps and or platforms. But like, yeah, I know I'm never watching like traditional TV, turning it on, looking at what's on. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom was over the other day and she's like, how come you don't have TV? I'm like, what do you mean? I have Netflix, I have Peacock, I have name it. I have all the platforms, but I just don't have regular stream or regular TV.
Well, I think it brings up something that the Kardashians are so good at doing though, because they are, well, they have their own brands and it's very specific at each one of them, but they are kind of like, I don't want to say chameleons, but lack of better word, like they will make it into whatever like that hot button moment is.
They adapt to the times.
You're
for
right.
sure.
They adapt to the times, and I think that's so important. And when you really think about it, you've got Kris Jenner, who's a baby boomer, and then you have Kourtney and Kim are Gen X. So really, this is like generations behind their time now. Not like they're super old. I don't mean to age them crazily, but
You're
like
aging Kim because she's Gen Z, honey.
yeah.
She is on the show. She's like, I'm Gen Z. I'm not in the league with
She's like,
Kourtney.
whatever
She relates to
Kylie
them.
and Kendall
Courtney's
are.
on, yeah, literally. She's like, Courtney's on her own over there.
They're a year apart.
Which is what's funny is too, because Kendall is technically a millennial, where Kylie is the very beginning of Gen Z because she's 97.
Yeah.
So that was such a funny moment though. But so I think that's actually, it's so great you bring that up because it's a picture of how she doesn't want to be pigeonholed into any particular time frame and she wants to keep updating with the times. But I mean, they're on the pulse and they never really do it to me in a really like corny way. Like sometimes it can kind of come out like washed up when celebrities try to do something like that. You're like, okay, you're just trying too hard. This isn't fitting. Stay in your lane a little bit. And that might just be me being a little bit judgy or mean. I should call myself out on that. But like it can. But with the Kardashians, it just seems to fit. Like you don't question Kim
feels
in
authentic.
these spaces. And like you don't question her in these Gen Z spaces or whatever she's doing. Although some of Gen Z is probably like, no way.
Yeah.
She's Gen X. We think she's cringy or whatever. I don't know. But at least as a millennial watching her, it's very interesting. Definitely. Do you have a favorite Kardashian?
Well, Kim, hands down, is my favorite Kardashian. But I think since reporting on them and like being so like set for 2 years, 3 years of just like nonstop keeping up, Khloe is just like, I think everyone's favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Kim Kardashian's biggest fan. I did win the title against Kim on an ABC game show.
Oh my gosh.
So I hold that
Officially.
literally officially hold that true to my heart.
Hilarious.
So I will forever love Kim, and she's obviously the reason I'm who I am today. But Khloe, I think, is from just the show and like she holds it down, her social media presence. Like I just really feel like she is just a gem. And the Kardashians are lucky to have her as their sister for sure.
Aww.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of people, even outside of the family, that are lucky to have her. I think of like Tristan Thompson. His brother is being caretaken by Khloe. And she's done that for even Lamar Odom after they were divorced. So her heart extends beyond just blood relations.
Yeah. No, I think, and like out of all of the Kardashians, she's given me the most like social media love, which I love.
Aww.
And I think too, that just goes to show, I think that's her connection with Kris. I think they're very similar in that sense. And because Kris always, doesn't matter what the men do, like to her daughter, she's always like, I'm your mom. Like, Scott, I'm here for you. Tristan, I'm here for you.
But it makes sense though. I mean, they're the fathers of her grandchildren.
Yes.
They're going to be in her life, whether she likes it or not. So why not nurture those relationships? And she's obviously able to put their transgressions aside and say like, okay, well, let's see the human underneath it.
Yes.
I see that Kylie and Khloe crave their time with Kris the most. And I'm not saying that other girls don't pay attention or anything like that, but you could tell like that need for their mom is there the most, especially Kylie. And I can relate as
a mama's girl,
baby of the family and a mama's girl. me through and through. Like I totally related to like they went shopping together and stuff like that, and like the car scenes and things they were talking about. Like you could just tell like what was genuine there, and like I just like I have a hard time feeling like they're feigning any of that like relationship stuff. Like I think when they're not filming, they're together just as much. It's like that's what I would like
Oh,
assume. You could just
I
feel
believe
it.
so too.
Well, I think that's like what they always say, like how lucky are we get to work with our family every
Yeah.
day. And I genuinely would love to like have a time breakdown of how much of their life is filming, because
Yeah.
obviously with Keeping Up, it was spinoff after spinoff. The show was nonstop. Now I think it's a little bit more selective with filming,
Yeah.
but they've definitely put in the work for sure.
They do put in the work, and I think that can be overlooked sometimes. Like that, like even just producing like a podcast episode is way more than what you actually get on the RSS feed that you end up listening to. So to think about an entire season of a show that's only about you and filming, I could see why in some areas of time there were times where Courtney was just like, I don't know if I want to be filming right now at this period in my life, or like, and then she seems to be a bit more back and forth with that whole thing than any of the other Kardashians. Am I wrong?
I would say she's the one that's been most outspoken with that.
About not filming. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say though, she's my favorite.
Yes.
Yes. Well, okay. She's my favorite, but Kendall's style is my favorite. I love that she has the like row, the American
Yeah.
Ashley Olsen brand aesthetic. I love
Yeah.
her house the most. Not
Yes.
that I don't know. It's weird to talk about someone's house.
Her house is cool.
decor that you've never met, but
Everyone
like I
online
love
said it
her
was
house.
livable, the most
Yes.
livable house.
Yeah.
But I love that you love those two, that you love Kendall's style more, because her and Courtney both share a stylist. Isn't that insane?
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess the stylist, I think Kendall's stylist is the best, and she is obviously, Kendall is drop dead gorgeous.
Well, yeah, you can put
She's
anything
also a
on
model.
her.
She
so-
has the most fun outfits, and like she just looks sickening 24/7, and like it's very her vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, same stylist. But as you can see, the two difference of
Yes.
just, and then even
Yeah.
I made a video because Chloe was kind of wearing outfits. I was like, this is very Kendall-esque.
Mhm.
Chloe was using the same stylist, so
Okay,
I love
there
that
we
she has
they're
a trademark.
yeah recycling it.
Interesting.
Very
The more you know.
The more you know. And I'm forgetting her name, and I feel so bad because she commented on my video, but she's amazing.
Oh my gosh. That's super cool. She would be interesting to chat with
Yeah.
too, I'm sure. Like the three of us talking to her, because that, I mean, what a world to live in. You're styling Kardashians. That's
Okay.
incredible.
That's so funny you bring that up because it was something I was thinking about recently is those Kardashian adjacent. So you're thinking of like all the makeup artists, the stylists, the personal trainers, the chefs. They've all, we've all met most of them. Like we have Chef K.
Yeah.
We see show up.
Icon.
We've seen Chris Appleton show up. So we get to know these other side characters. I don't want to call
Yeah.
them characters because they are real people, but
They're like a
They're on
micro
the
celebrity
show.
through the
Yeah.
zeitgeist of the
and that's been
Kardashians.
so fun too because you get to meet so many other creatives that
Mhm.
they've worked with. I don't
Yeah.
know. I was just
Well, and they're so seasoned, like you can't just be anybody working with them because like they're not stepping out the door if you're not styling them well enough, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
And that's not because, they're mean or like it's that serious. Like this is their livelihood. This is what they've built. And if you think about it, like the only way up for them was to make it tighter and tighter and tighter, like we've seen since Keeping Up with the Kardashians all the way through now just the Kardashians on Hulu. You can see this tightening of the brand and just like the things that they have had to do to be able to have growth within their careers and their livelihood. So that's
well,
it's a big compliment that they would continue to use somebody.
and that's the thing though. Like as they've tightened the brand, they've had to cut ties with some people.
Mhm.
And I mean, this isn't like gossipy or anything, but like you've heard, like you hear about people maybe not necessarily having the best interests for the sisters in mind, and they'll sell stories to the tabloids, and that must be really scary to be at where they're, at the place of
Yeah.
fame that they're at, and have someone you think is trusted travel with you, live with you,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
so stab you in the back,
Yeah.
basically.
I could not imagine that. And I think too with the glam team and all that stuff, like that's very on brand for the Kardashians. I think they made glam such a point of their brand where it's like they always look good. I always like to like compare it to like Lady Gaga, how she would always on the airplanes wear high heels and just look like
It was
sick Lady Gaga no matter where she was. I think the Kardashians, like Kim's look was always done up everywhere she went. And I think that's why the glam teams and like the people around them kind of really catapults into their own stardom because when it comes to beauty, when it comes to that, the Kardashians have their finger on the pulse.
Yep.
And like going up just back to me, like they're being just Kardashian adjacent, you're able to build this brand and like kind of like hone in. And I think I had no idea that just reporting on the Kardashians would catapult me to everything.
Yeah.
But it is insane. And I do, if I were them, I would be very like picky with who I invited to my circle because
Yeah.
it is you're doing my makeup, you're going to now get brand deals. You're doing my hair, you're going to be
Right.
the face of that brand. So it is like, that's where it's just like, they don't get the credit they deserve when it's
Right.
like, really, they put everyone on and
They open the doors
yeah,
for everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of stamping their name to it in that respect too. So that's like a whole nother level of it, I think, like a whole nother layer of like, okay, so if I'm filming and you're doing my glam while we're filming, if this scene makes the cut, you're gonna be there, your name might be there, like, and then I'm stamping. And then if somebody else uses you that's like A-list or whatever, they're gonna be like, wait, this is who whatever Kardashian or whatever Jenner used? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big piece of it too. And I know it's kind of weird because that's somebody else's livelihood, but like they have to be so
Yeah.
specific and careful and like really vet on top of protecting themselves.
Yep.
Because all you need is like one story sold, and that could ruin an entire season of what you have going on.
Look at
or
Larsa
just-
Pippen. I mean,
I know.
or who else was it? She's blonde. She used to do their makeup.
Joyce Bellino.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
hear much of
Well, I think
those
so
two.
too. Looking back at the show, like they really involved their glam team and all their friends on the show. I think now the only real friends that are on the Kardashians is Natalie and Olivia, and they're obviously locked into the T. Like they're not over here going to be messing up anything. And I think
Right.
that's where it's so tight now. They're not as loose because I think
Right.
keeping up it was the glam team having fun and like it was just all the friends. Malika was on all the episodes. I
Khadijah,
think,
yeah.
So I think they just kind of cut out all that extra stuff because I remember seeing on Reddit like Kim was applying for an assistant and on there it was like does not want to be a social media influencer because
Wow.
you
I
look
mean, it
at
makes sense
her
though.
previous assistant Steph Shep is now a brand of her own and now acting in Group Chat, which is a Kim Kardashian produced show, and even Kylie's assistant who Victoria.
She has a lot. Yes, and then her other one has like a last name as a first name, McGuire.
McGuire, yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm also thinking of Jen Atkin.
Yeah.
Look at her. She has the brand Way, another brand that's been pretty successful.
Main
So-
addict.
Okay, see,
Shout out to Way, the curl creams in my hair right now.
Okay, literally, I have their like a hair oil right now. Like,
Yeah.
what? That's crazy.
But what I want to ask you girls is, if the Kardashians are paying Kris Jenner 10%, I think everyone else in that realm should be paying Kris Jenner their 10% too.
oh, for
Hey.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting thought because it could seem like a grab, but I mean, at the end of the day, wait a minute.
Yeah, she's getting
she
her
should
name
be
out
like
there.
managing them too. She could have like a
Yes.
huge management company. I mean, she probably already has a company, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not just the
Well,
family.
it makes me wonder though if she does represent others or
Right,
manage others.
I
And
wonder if she
has
does.
to.
Could.
On the show, like in years past, she was trying to get up
Girl
a
group.
girl group
Mhm.
out, and I think maybe a couple other people, but
Yeah.
it must be really hard to manage 6 children.
Yeah.
And now grandchildren's careers because we have like Northwest doing Lion King and other,
Avenues that they're going
I think
in,
she
yeah.
did a song with her dad, right?
Yep. She did a song with someone else recently too. Miss Northwest, the icon.
Wow.
No, but I think that's so funny though, because I think on the show, Kim talking about how she's now momager. I think what I love most about the Kardashians is the recycling of pop culture moments. And I think right
Yeah.
now, celebrities are in their nostalgia era of just like when they go on tour, it's just a nostalgia tour. I think Beyonce is one of the only artists that can really hone in on a brand new album and everyone comes to see it. Everyone else performing, it's just, here's my greatest hits.
Yeah.
The Kardashians, the terms recycling or reheating their nachos.
Yes.
And I think they don't even have to reheat their nachos because it's just like Kris was a momager, so obviously Kim's going to be a momager. Like it's
Yeah.
no question. And I think that's what makes it so fun is like when you've been a part of it for so long, you're in on the joke. And it's like an inside, like, oh yeah, we know what's going on. And everyone else is kind of like, oh, I can't believe Kim let North do that. It's like, honey, wait till you find out what Kris let Kim do. Like,
Yeah.
this is nothing.
This
compared
is
to that.
generational.
Yes.
Yes. That's such a great point. And you feel like you're watching almost like these home movies or like you're right there with them and you're in on like the joke of it all, the inside joke or like the inside scoop going like, I know what Kim means by saying XYZ and like looking at the camera that way.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little break of the fourth wall.
Yes,
Yeah, and like
exactly.
Wink, wink.
we get
Yep.
it
Yeah.
because we've been watching for 18 years. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I just want to point out because whenever the Kardashians say with a K on the show, like that is my fourth wall broken. I'm like, that's because of me.
Yeah.
I know the Kardashians have said with a K before, but I popularized it.
I think of you when I
Exactly.
hear it.
So
Okay.
thank
Absolutely.
you. But so that's what I love because it's like that inside joke that it's like, we get that. We don't need you to explain it. And like, I think that's
Yeah.
what the Kardashians is now. Everyone, the amount of haters, and that was kind of the thing that I think prompted me to post on social media was I hated people were talking about the Kardashians, hating on them, and they didn't even know the facts. Like, if you're going to hate on someone, have the history, have the knowledge of like,
Yeah.
this is why this is happening, or actually just tell the truth.
Like, know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
It's not hard. We know we do not like to be liars, like Chloe says.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think that's too where it's like, I was like, there needs to be someone defending them because it's going too far. And I think I dream of a fan base like the Swifties, like they ride for Taylor. Like the Kardashians don't have that because
Yeah.
they're still kind of this, they were coined like, it's what's your guilty pleasure? Like, oh, watching Keeping Up. Like, honey, that's nothing guilty about that. Like, look at them now.
Right.
Mhm.
So I think the Chris of it all and the family of it all, like going back, because right now who I'm obsessed with is Brooks Nader and how she's everywhere. And I kind of just look like Kim now doesn't have to do that, but back
Yeah.
in the day she did.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I think we forget that it's like
Mhm.
these girls were hustling. Like they were doing
Yes.
anything and everything. And I kind of miss it. So I think the Brooks Nader of it all is giving me very like Kim K, like here she is.
Yeah.
But it just cracks me up because it's like they really put in the work to now where they're so selective and they don't have to try hard because like Kim, she can just call up Nike and say, let's do this. It's not this thing where the brands are coming to Kim. It's now she's the one.
Right.
I mean, people are coming to her to get out of prison, like Kris Jenner,
Yeah.
getting advice for everything. Like they are now the leaders in the space.
There's a Kardashian for everybody.
Yeah.
And so if you relate to one or you really enjoy watching one, for me, that's always been Kim and that's always been Kylie. I don't know why. I mean, I love them all, but for whatever reason, those are the two where I just like end up like feeling super engaged.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, 2016, Paige, you could not rip that Kylie lip kit out of my
Yes.
hand. My lips, it was on it 24/7. I don't care if it was the velvet or the
Yes.
liquid
Were you a
lipstick.
Dolce K, Candy K?
Oh, yeah, all
Mary
of
Jo?
them.
Which one? All of them?
I wore all of them.
Okay.
Like when each drop, I was on there. Like sometimes like barely getting through the line because there would be like this like wait when you were like trying to check out and you had to
Mhm.
like be in line to check out. But I bought them all like as they released, and then obviously it grew so big that I didn't have them all. But it was the Mary Jo, it was
Yeah.
Candy K, it was oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Was one called like. Is it like Moon or oh my gosh, it's got that like vibe to it. I'm forgetting now because it's been almost 10
Yes.
years since I purchased that one. But like, yeah, I had some favorites and they were repurchased. Like I would hit bottle and I would repurchase, and they were
And that's saying
so good.
something. Like,
I mean,
to-
not with liquid lipstick. It was good quality. I'm just saying. Some people might disagree, but
What
I
about-
thought it was great.
what about you? What was your
Yeah.
favorite? What was your color?
Were you wearing
Well, so
Kylie?
I was not wearing the lips, but I was the one that was like to my friends, you want the launch? I will be up at 7 a.m. purchasing and buying them all.
Oh.
Posy K was my sister's favorite, so I bought her multiple.
That's a good one. That's a rosy color.
It was.
Yes.
And I think once she started doing more products, like the bronzers, I'm obsessed with. Her
Yeah.
skin tints, her lips, like now.
Yes.
Majority of all of my products are Kylie Cosmetics. I think she's
Yeah.
the best beauty brand. The products are just so slept on. And I think that
Yes.
goes to all of their brands of this Kardashian. People buy it because they love them or they're never going to touch it because they hate them.
Yeah.
It's like the brands are kind of hard to stay on their own. And I think that's why Chloe's new brand, Cloud, it's Kardashian related, but her name's not really in it. It's kind of in it with the K.
Mhm.
Kim obviously Skims, but with
Yeah.
Kylie Cosmetics, it's Kylie. She's the brand. So I think they're kind of transitioning out of we are the brand and just creating good products. I think
Right.
Kourtney's Lemmy, like 818, like it's
Yeah.
Kardashian related,
Right.
but it can live on its own because it doesn't have to have the word Kardashian in it. And I think from all their brands beginning, Kardashian Collection, Kardashian Beauty,
Yeah.
all that stuff, Kardashian Kids, like it was just Kardashian.
Yeah.
I buy anything that says Kardashian on it, honey. I want all the logos as possible.
Yeah.
But not everyone wants that. So I think
Okay.
that's why we're also seeing the transition of their brands too.
Yeah, even if you think back to their store,
Mhm.
like we're
Dash.
talking mid 2000s, Dash. And then they opened up a second one, and that was also Dash.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, like they've always played on the name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
We're-
And now they can stand on their own. And I think that's a really good sign of what's to come, too. Especially because we know society doesn't love an aging woman. I mean, and again, not saying they're old, but like we know how society treats them.
Well,
And
you
so,
can see it from Kris Jenner with the facelift, honey.
She looks amazing, honestly.
oh yeah,
Internet broke. Like, I think this is
Broke.
more internet breaking than the freaking Paper magazine cover,
for
honey.
sure.
Like,
Yes.
people were obsessed. And I think I'm loving that Kris Jenner. And that's where I kind of think they all take their lane of like Kris being like, she's already showed her facelift on the show once. Why lie about second facelift when you look absolutely amazing?
yeah,
We will probably see it on the show because obviously it's
For sure.
content. But I think it's an LA thing too. Are you guys from California?
yes,
Okay, so I'm from Nebraska. Honey, you couldn't have, my parents would have never let me do Botox, never let me do lip filler, nothing. Coming to LA, it's the most normal thing in the world. So I cannot
so
imagine
normal.
being growing up here. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're in the celebrity world. Kim was friends with Paris Hilton. Then obviously you're on TV. You're seeing yourself all the time, and it's so normal here. And
Mhm.
being an influencer, you get everything for free. So I don't object to them doing anything because I love a little nip, a little tuck, a little pluck, a
Yeah.
little poke, everything. But I think Kris owning it, it's like very LA. Like it's not out
Yeah,
of the
it's part of
ordinary
the
here.
culture.
Yes. And I think that's why middle America, obviously, those are the ones watching television. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that are like tuning in for everything. They just can't go get a facelift for $100,000. They can't just go get lip injections
Right.
whenever they want. So I think these huge plastic surgery things and the injections for Kylie, like why it's so big, it's just because it's not normal for the majority of people.
Right. I mean, you're growing up here, it's pretty rare to find people, especially now, that don't at least have Botox
Or
Yeah.
at least have tried it.
or have
Yeah.
done it. So yeah, it's actually probably more rare. And that's okay. I'm not even saying it's bad, but like I'm agreeing with you where it's like, yeah, they also just can't just go down the street and do that. And I gotta admit, in California, if you're in like LA, OC, even San Diego, when you're driving, like you're seeing the centers or like the
Mhm.
med
Mhm.
spas, which is probably a little bit more of the OC styles, like the med spa and things like that, where like the injectables are happening. And if they make people feel more confident, I say pop off,
Yeah.
like I really do, because I think that it can really enrich your life if you feel your best. And that's why it kind of makes me feel a little sad that Kylie already was feeling that, because this is like the other side of the coin at like 16 when she started with those lip injections, and they
Yeah.
tried
But
to
she
act
was
like we
being-
didn't clock it. But I said those are injections. And that's a little extreme, I must say.
But she was being bullied relentlessly. We
Yeah.
have to
thing.
imagine that or put ourselves in her shoes. She wasn't just being bullied by people her age. It was like
Grown
the
men
world.
and grown men following them with
That's so
cameras.
weird.
Like
Yeah.
it's because Kylie ran LA. Like when she
Yeah.
was in that G-Wagon, honey, going to Earth Cafe, like she ran LA.
Like
And I-
King Kylie era.
Yes, the
Yes.
best era. But I was going back and like doing some research before I came out here and like seeing her talk about the lip liner is what makes my lips. I
Like,
genuinely feel like I'm just the most naive human being on the planet because watching that as her age, I'm just like, this lip liner is
We need it.
Yeah, literally.
we
And
need
now
it.
looking back, I'm like, oh, honey, those lip injections, you can tell they're lip
You
injections.
could tell exactly.
Well, and she's sort of grown from that time of
sure.
deny, and then being forced to come out with it.
Yeah.
Because just recently, I want to say maybe over the summer, she commented on a TikTok
Yeah.
post where some girl was saying, like, Kylie Jenner, please, I would love to know what you got for your breast augmentation. And literally all you see is Kylie Jenner commenting the exact thing with the doctor's name.
Yes.
Wow.
And after that, that started a trend on
Mhm.
TikTok where influencers with pretty big followings would make a video and list their stats with the doctor's names.
Yeah.
And so it just shows that even them getting plastic surgery now
Mhm.
is still relevant and getting people to copy them, basically.
Yeah. Well, I think she's gorgeous. Like to me, I mean, Kim is absolutely stunning. And if you actually look at them at the same age, like around 16 and 16, there's a lot of similarities just after the lip filler with Kylie and Kim. Like they actually look way more alike than you think. And I think they're all stunning. Like there's just no denying it. And I remember even being like a little bit older than Kylie, being just like, oh, I want to look like that. And so, of course, I'm buying the lip kits because it's going to make
Yeah,
me look like her,
exactly.
right? Or at least support somebody as gorgeous as that. Like, I remember feeling like that. Like, damn, I want to look like Kylie.
Well, isn't it amazing, too, when you look at Kris, you can see each of the sisters
Mhm.
in her, or
Yes.
Kris and each of the sisters.
Mhm.
It's amazing how beautiful her genes are and how strong they are because they
Yeah.
all came out a little bit different. I mean, some of the sisters look more alike than others,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
to have 6 children and make 6 beautiful children,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
that's what
Well,
an accomplishment.
cracks me up because obviously when Chloe would dress up as Chris or Kim on the show would wear the short wig, it's like,
Yes.
whoa, you do look like your mom. Now that
Yes.
Chris is having longer hair, you're seeing it like actually like
Truth.
she's I always joked I was the 6th Kardashian sister. No, Chris actually now is the 6th Kardashian sister.
Yes.
So I think with her longer hair, you really do pick up on the similarities.
She
Yeah.
looks
And
like
the
just like
genes run
Kendall
deep.
to me.
Yeah.
She
Or
does.
even MJ
Mhm.
looks so much like the girls. It's amazing. Those genes are
Well, I mean, and let's be real though. Like, I've got to put it into perspective. Chris is about to be, I believe, 70,
70.
in November. Are you
I think
kidding
November
me?
5th.
I
Yeah.
think so. And then Kendall's birthday is, I think, the exact same day or like right around there.
A few days later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, I cannot believe she's going to be 70 and she looks that great and that similar to her daughters. Again, I don't love to age people, but I'm just saying, like, that's a 30-year age gap. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
she looks that good. I mean, that doctor was doing real good work, but I mean, also, it's her genes too.
Yeah.
But you're
I mean, look at her mother. The
Yeah.
mother looks amazing.
Right.
And she's in her 90s.
Yeah.
right. I mean, you can only change bone structure so much. And filler only does so much. You know, like at the end of the day, that is still her. Was it nipped? Was it tucked?
It was
Sure, but who
enhanced.
cares? Like if I wear a shirt, like I have a bodysuit tucked in right now, if I pulled it out, that might be a little weird, right? So you tuck it in, you do the nip and the tuck, and you fix it, right? You
Yeah.
kind of fix yourself up. And that's kind of how I view it. Like that's what she is. That's her bone structure, maybe with some filler. She looks incredible for almost 70. Like unreal.
Did they ever say who did her newest facelift?
Dr. Levine in New
Okay.
York. He's the
Oh,
one that was
York.
rumored to have done
Lindsay Lohan?
Lindsay Lohan's work. Yeah.
And she looks amazing
Okay.
too.
Mhm.
That work is impeccable. I'm about to go do that.
Yeah.
She looks absolutely stunning. And I think we isolated, right? What do you call that type of facelift where
A
they
deep
just
plane.
Deep plane is
the
what they
deep
yeah.
plane?
So
It's
they don't
gotta
just
be.
take the skin and
Yeah.
It
they don't
looks-
just yank it up. They
like
do
muscle memory.
everything.
Muscle and all
So
that
it's a
stuff.
much more extensive process.
Mhm.
I imagine they're under anesthesia for quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was rumored, I think, over $100,000 for Chris's facelift. So,
Wow.
but then you look at them, it's like, that's
That's a drop
that's
in
a
the
car.
bucket.
That's a
Yeah.
brand new artwork in their house. That's a new pair of Birkin bag, honey.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Well, and to get the facelift is priceless because not
Mhm.
only does she feel great, look
Yep.
great, but it also gets society talking about them again
Yeah.
and
True.
get more eyes on them. And I think she just has a new brand deal with MAC.
Yep, she was at the Face of Mac yet. Well, the only thing I have an issue with is like people coming for Chris and all that stuff and like the Kardashians with beauty.
Yeah.
It's the over sexualization of women and then expect them to just be natural as possible. And like at
Right.
the beginning of time, it was, yeah, obviously you could lie and say, no, I don't have Botox or no, these are my real lashes or things like that. But it's like even with Kris Jenner getting a facelift, a 70-year-old woman who birthed 6 children, who
Yeah.
works her ass off, can't take a freaking nap on a
Yeah.
plastic surgery table. Like this
Yeah.
woman needs to sleep, and if she's gonna sleep, it's being
Right.
put under because these girls put her through it. And like with the Lindsay Lohan of it all, I think everyone is obsessed with hers. But then
Yeah.
you add the Kardashians to it, and it's always gonna have negative talk and chatter. And I
Sure.
think that's where if I were them, I would be getting tired because you can't catch a break. with
Yeah, it's a double
anything you do.
standard.
I
Yeah.
think they do get tired, honestly. I really do. And that's why I'm so happy for them that they get a much longer break in between seasons and all of that. I mean, listen, they're always working on something.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for them, the filming of it all and all of that. They have the longevity too, where it doesn't need to be every single week that they're in the press. Whereas when you're trying to make a name, you almost have to like plant yourself in the
Mhm.
press and make those phone calls of like, hey, Backgrid, like I'm
Well,
gonna be at this
we-
restaurant.
Remember we learned, you mentioned it earlier, Kim would do that
Mhm.
coming up. I think she learned that from like Jonathan Cheban or Food God as he's
Yeah.
now known.
He takes credit, Mr. Foodie.
Mr. Foodie.
Me and Food God go way back.
I love it. Well, so that she would like call Backgrid or whatever. And
Yeah, she would call and
That's the first time I heard about it. But of course, much to like what you're saying, it was such a big deal because a Kardashian was doing it. When in reality,
everyone's
was
the
doing
doing
it.
Jonas Bros have been doing it. You think he's just sitting at lunch with his son looking all happy and smiley during a divorce and Backgrid just happens to snap that beautiful picture?
Mhm.
No, or I might
it's a
have
daughter.
misspoken. It's a daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
All
know
the
me
Jonas
so
brothers
well.
have
Yeah.
Jonas daughters.
You know me so well that I was going to need to correct myself. But so, I mean, and regardless, so like he's sitting at lunch with his kid and they just so happen to get a picture and know
Mhm.
where he is. Yes, they do find people, of course, but like, no, you're calling ahead. You're having a divorce. You need good press. But if a Kardashian does it, it's so fake. They're the only ones that have ever been that fake. And again, I'm not even necessarily defending that you should be fake or not, but you learn a lot, of how people really rise to fame and what ends up becoming necessary or how you get those opportunities to be in press and stuff.
I think it shows how resilient every member of the
Mhm.
family
Oh
is.
yeah,
because
they don't care.
no, they've had so many hard knocks throughout their double decade career, and they just keep coming back
Yeah.
even stronger than before. And I think that's something that a lot of business minded people can learn from them is just because you fail once doesn't mean that that's the end of the road for you.
Yeah.
You get up and try something else. And that's
Right.
what we've seen them do over and over again. I can think of like their credit card,
Yes, the
with
MasterCard.
the
Yep.
MasterCard. That didn't work, but that's okay.
Yep.
They had the what is it, J.C. Penney, or it was at
Sears. Kardashian
Sears.
collection, yeah.
Yes,
They had their own Vegas store, Kardashian
Right.
Chaos. Like they've done so many things. But what I think for them at least, now they're at that point where they don't have to
Mhm.
Yeah.
slap their name on something and hope it works. They kind of really do get to create. But like I look back at Kris Jenner and just kind of how she started with, she obviously wanted to be famous herself. Like there's no
Sure.
doubt she was doing infomercials, she was doing hosting. And I think she took the opportunity with Caitlyn to be like, here's what we're going to do to make you a
Mhm.
household name. You're the number one athlete in the world. Like you're the triathlon champion. Like you could be doing so much more.
Yeah.
And the iconic Wheaties
Mhm.
cereal box. Like
Yeah.
Kris Jenner was able to create that path for Caitlyn. And I think that's one thing that I think everyone in their corner needs to have is that type of manager that really is not just advocating for money, but advocating
Yeah.
for how can we make your dreams come true and make it the best and biggest possible.
Where do we think she learned? I mean, of course, it was probably kinesthetic as she went along, but where do we think we learned or that she learned how to be so good at this, where she can literally manage her children into how many of them are billionaires? I think like two at least.
and
And the rest are,
I'm sure they're making
On
their
their
way.
way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I know that her mom had a children's clothing
Mhm.
boutique in San Diego, and her stepfather, um, that her mom married when she was still young, did have a business of his own. So I imagine that just being around that sort of mindset of, all right, let's make something on our own,
Yeah.
really helped forge these foundational elements to what would eventually become her momager
Yeah.
skills. But I imagine it's also just her.
Yeah.
It's her
Yeah.
own personal drive because Kris Jenner is one of a kind. You can't replicate that. And I think so many other momagers have tried,
We
with
talked
up
about
and
this,
coming.
yeah.
Yes. And no one's done it quite like Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
Well, I think the connection too, she's very connected and like rubbing elbows and shoulders with the who's who.
She's just good at that, maybe,
Yes.
and
She
built
has
from
a
there.
great personality to do it too.
She
You can't
does.
be shy.
No, she's hilarious. Like obviously we love Kris when she has a few martinis. But I think though too, just going in her relationships, like it's never like Kris settled. I think knowing your worth and what you want in life is your purpose and your passion. And obviously I'm the biggest believer if you have a dream of something, it's doable because why else would you be thinking it? Because
Yeah.
it's meant for you. So I think Kris kind of going into that realm of like who she was marrying, it was never going to be a situation where she would be shit out of luck. Like that's not
Yeah.
Kris Jenner. She's not going to do that. But I look at too like just how the show came about was with her knowing someone of the casting producers at Dancing with the Stars who connected her with Ryan Seacrest. So I think those are like the connections that obviously you can't pay, you can't make. That's just the situation you're in.
Right.
And I think one thing the Kardashians do is when they commit, they commit. I can't
Yeah.
say that for Kourtney and Kylie and Kendall. But Kris, Kim, and Khloe, when they're in, they're in. Because I know Kourtney was even like, I'm not really vibing with the show. Because she was on a reality TV show prior. She was the first to be on Cattle Drive, Filthy Rich on E! So it wasn't like they weren't trying. And I think people need to look back at the time too of like what was popular and what was happening. The Osbournes was a huge success for a reality TV show. Well, we can do that too. And I think, I don't know, because I love reality TV, and I think looking back now, I'm like, yeah, probably some of it was scripted. Obviously,
Sure.
it's a television show, and it's still to this day, and I think that's where it's reality TV shifted. But I think one thing Chris always knew and the girls always knew is you have to be open and honest, and to get what you want in life, you got to just lay it all out there, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
Well, and even if it wasn't scripted per se, when cameras are on you and you're not used to it, you
Yes.
sort of adopt a persona and
Yeah.
play it
Right.
up a little bit for the cameras.
Right. And editing will take care of
The rest.
Yeah.
I mean, Kristen Cavallari talks about it all the time on Laguna Beach and how quickly she sort of became not necessarily true villain, but lack of better word, she kind of became this mean girl that she doesn't necessarily even completely resonate with that. But like editing can be so powerful. And when there is a likeness to you and the world's kind of like engaged in what you've got going on, production's gonna do the rest and be like, go here,
Yeah,
do this. And then they're gonna be
exactly.
like, you go walk in.
Yeah.
They're getting their nails done. Go walk in, talk about how you're going to homecoming with Jason because Jessica's in there.
She'll
and she's gonna
overhear.
be pissed.
Yeah.
And so right, they do things like that. There's curated moments. But especially if you go back to like the earlier 2000s reality TV, it almost feels weird watching it because it is edited so differently than today. Today, we break so many fourth walls and we have such a better understanding. And the Kardashians have been really great at yet again kind of adapting to that. And
Well, they've paved the way for
Yeah.
everyone, and with this new way that they're doing the Kardashians versus
Yes.
Keeping Up, they're paving the way once again
Yep.
for this new brand
very
of reality.
docu-style, much it's almost even a little bit more cinematic too.
I almost look at it as an extension to their social media
It
because
is.
when you post on social media, you're very aware of what you're posting. It's
Yeah.
curated, like you mentioned. And their show obviously is curated, but
Yeah.
it also is still a peek behind the curtain.
Mhm.
And that's what all of us want. We want to see how the other half lives. We want to see
Yeah.
what they're doing. We've loved and grown up with these people
Yeah.
for years, and it feels comfortable and familial
Yeah.
when we watch them.
And I'm big on privacy, so I don't really
Yeah.
care what you're leaving out. I really don't. Like, honestly, I respect that. Like, I don't want to know what you don't want me to know because then that makes me feel weird. And I want to respect you as somebody who's giving up, honestly, a lot of your piece to be entertainment. But also, they know they're making money, but like, they still are giving up a piece to be,
I don't know.
release entertainment.
I'm a little nosy. I want to know everything.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I wanna know it all.
I'm nosy, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. But like, I in terms of the story, like, I'm excited to hear what they want to tell me. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Like, I'm just excited to hear what do you want to tell me? What
Yeah,
happened?
you're here for the ride.
Yeah, what happened in Italy about
Yeah.
this wedding or whatever, like, and then the funny scenes with like Chris eating a gummy and like
Oh my
not
God,
being
I
able to be
love that.
quiet. Hilarious, so they do throw in some of those moments still that are a little bit of an homage to like old school reality TV where they made like really like funny filler moments like that, but somehow the Kardashians just made it like this is what we're doing and this is interesting because they're good at doing that.
I would love to get your perspective on this. So, as we're talking about how they really did launch reality TV, yes, there was The Simple Life, but they launched it in the sense of this is a family. This is one cast. Do you think that they could do that now if they were unknowns today?
Ooh.
Well, I'm the biggest believer the Kardashians were always
They were
meant to be famous because you can't write their stories.
Yeah.
Like you can't make that up. And that's not like they did all that for TV. Like just the stuff that before Keeping Up with the Kardashians of how connected and pop culture they were already involved. So I think that's where I just feel like Kris Jenner was like hit it right nail on the head and like just was like, boom, here we go. And I think all of them being involved was the main step. And I think that allowed them to kind of like Rob branching off and Courtney maybe not wanting to film after a while. But I think no matter what, the Kardashians would be famous. I think, and it was at a time too where it was like Kim was completely not the typical girl. Like it was Paris Hilton, stick thin blonde. And here you come with someone
Shape.
Armenian, gorgeous, curves, like
yeah.
very just like sensual and sexual. And like,
Yeah.
obviously the tape had an impact of like being a sex symbol, but I do think Kim loves it. I think all of them love it. And I think it just like everything works when it's supposed to work. I don't know what I love when people are like, what do you think the Kardashians would be doing if they weren't famous? Like, I have no clue. But Kim would have pulled exactly what Kris did, and she would have
She
her
would've made it
kids would have been the next.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's such an interesting point that if Kris didn't do it, Kim would have done it.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to, I think, everything that they have taught us about who they are.
yeah.
That it's just where they're meant to be, and we are here to respect and watch.
Yeah.
You
They've
know,
even
and
talked about that on the show too. I think they've asked each other, "Do you think that you were meant to be famous?"
Yep.
I think Kylie was asked that,
Kylie and Kourtney were like, no, but Kim was always.
which is so funny that Kylie would say no, because I feel like out of all the sisters, Kim and Kylie were meant to be famous.
Yes. I think, though, Kim wanted it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think
She-
Kylie ever.
A
But then
little bit more
also,
reluctant.
I think I
She's
love the saying,
sensitive.
you are who you hang around. So obviously, Kim hanging around with Paris Hilton and all that
Mhm.
stuff, she can see what life is like. Of course, you're going to want that
Yeah.
same thing. I want to be there. I think Kendall and Kylie are in a different boat because they weren't allowed to choose.
yeah.
And I
Good
think
point.
that's why Kris now is a little bit more lenient with them with filming. I get annoyed because all the sisters are getting paid the exact same for the Kardashians Hulu. And if you go back for all 6 seasons, Kim and Khloe are the only two that really give storylines.
Yep.
But I do wonder if Kris like dabbles with, should have I put my young kids on TV? And like, I
Mhm.
really kind of didn't allow them the choice.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
we see on Keeping Up Kendall and Kylie's issue with school and them being homeschooled and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I wonder if she has a little resentment, and that's why she allows Kendall and Kylie, and all of them are like, you can,
I'm-
you put in your work, you can like pick and choose.
I wonder if that
Right.
extends to Rob too, though,
Yeah.
because I feel even though he is the only boy, she is a little bit more protective. She's protective of all her children, obviously. She loves them all, but she seems to be very especially protective of him and
Yeah.
where he may be at. Although
Yeah, where is he?
I was going to say, I think I heard that he's coming back.
Yes. He's returning to season 7 of The Kardashians.
Okay, I'm
No
ready
premiere
to hear
date
his
yet, though.
story.
Yeah, so Kim Kardashian. Well, so first off, he was on Khloe's podcast, and he's been on the show before,
Yeah.
phoning in. And he was edited out of a Kris Jenner birthday dinner. He was literally
I
sitting
saw
right
those.
next to Kris, and the cameramen did their job and
Wow.
hid him completely. You could like see his ear or his tattoo.
I was going to
in a
say, I
few
think I
scenes.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was on Khloe's podcast, and she mentioned like, "Are you going to be making an appearance?" It wasn't confirmed, but he was kind of just saying that he stepped away because he wasn't comfortable in his skin. And
Yeah.
obviously, you're putting yourself out there to the not even just television, but the entire world.
Mhm.
But Kim, interviewing for Nike Skims, made the comment that he's back. But I do not know if that means he's back as in he's just going to film
Mhm.
and make a cameo, or if he's going to be full season, I'm locked in and filming and showing my life. So we'll see. But at least that's something exciting for season 7.
I hope
Yeah,
yeah.
something different. I'm kind of ready for a shakeup too, because we've gotten some phone calls here and there in some seasons and some episodes of him,
Yeah.
especially in relation to like his daughter, and it's mostly like Chloe. So she
Mhm.
seems to be pretty protective of him too, and nobody's really even making a joke of it, like how they've made jokes when like Courtney didn't want to film as
Yeah.
much.
It's a different
Yeah.
vibe.
It's a different vibe, so it's very much like this is the way that it is,
Yeah.
and we're all okay with it, and we don't even question it. We barely even talk about how he doesn't. You just see that he doesn't, and we acknowledge it in other ways, which is so smart. Again, they figure out all of these ways without just being like, "Well, yeah, Rob's not filming," but right, like they might include a phone call he
Yeah.
approves of or something, and then you recognize, oh yeah, like he's not here. So
Well, I
it's very
think
interesting.
Kris, too, knowing her relationship with Rob, I mean, he was living in her home,
Mhm.
the iconic black and white tiled floor home. That was
Yeah.
Rob's home for so many years.
Yeah,
I don't know where he moved to because they put that home up for sale. But it just things like that where it's like, even on the show, she just babied him. Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
she was always there. And I think Kris loves that type of being a mother. Like she loves her kids so much. And
Yeah.
I think the difference between, because I mean, I do miss like the feuds and the fights and Kim
Yeah.
and Rob always going at it with each
Yeah.
other. And she was always just like, quit babying him, quit paying for this, paying for that. And Kris going in on Kim, like, really, you get married in 72 days? Like, that's normal. So I think just that side of the family, I would
Yeah.
never wish for like any negativity on anyone. But I think that's what the show at least misses. But also, they're in their 40s now. They have their own kids. Like, it's not
Yeah.
ever going to be the same.
No.
So I think the glimpses that we're getting and like even just Rob being vulnerable enough to want to film, I think is a huge win for us Kardashian fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be really looking forward to it. I wonder when season 7 is coming out. It's got to be soonish. Do we
Yes.
know?
Well, there's no set date,
Okay.
but probably October, November, maybe next year. That's the
Okay.
thing. They were doing 2 seasons a year, and now it's kind of like they've allowed some time, which I think they're allowing time to film as much as they can to
Mhm,
build a
yeah.
good show instead of just having 3 episodes dedicated to the Met Gala. Because I think
Yes.
old reality TV, that was the thing. It was 3 storylines, 1 episode, and it was done after that.
Yeah.
mhm.
It was just back and forth the entire episode. Now it's, let's do a whole season on just this one thing. Where it's
Yeah,
like, come
season
on,
arc.
we don't have the bandwidth for this. We need to go. Our attention spans are very small, so let's keep
Yes.
it moving.
No, it's so true. They'll start the whole season with like a piece of, interest or drama. And then it's like 3 months earlier,
Yep.
whoop, and you rewind, and then boom, there you are. And then you end the season,
Well,
or maybe the penultimate episode is at least where that drama hits.
Yeah,
they've hooked you at the beginning, though.
exactly. The Lamar of it all.
Yeah.
Ah,
The Lamar of it all.
and the Trashton of it all. I'm like, come on, Chloe can't catch a break.
No, she can't. And
Oh,
she so deserves someone that will appreciate and love her.
I
the
know.
way
I
she
always say Chloe
deserves.
needs to find herself a Chloe.
Yes.
She deserves that.
she really does. She really, really, really does. And I mean, hopefully, we'll see it and she'll share a little bit of what is appropriate with it because people are going to be really pumped when she does. And she's probably going to be super careful about even like releasing that information, I bet.
And I don't blame her. Look
Yeah.
at how many times she's been burned by people that
Yeah.
said they
Right.
would love her
Yeah.
forever, and they do probably the most horrific things that
Yeah.
you
Right.
could do to
I think
someone.
Chloe, just no more NBA players.
Yes.
Please.
No more
No
basketball
more.
players. I mean, I think she's put herself out there and we've gotten really angry at these men and then we've questioned choices just like her own sisters and family have about the caretaking of it all and why are we doing this for men that treated us like trash.
But it
And
feels
so it is a
personal.
big deal.
You just said us, though.
Yeah.
Like what treated us, and it does feel personal when they
Yes.
do something like what Lamar did or Trashton did
Yeah.
to Chloe.
Trashton.
It feels so personal because these are people. The sisters are people we love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or others love to hate. But I mean, you've grown to be attached to them, and it feels like a personal attack. Like we got cheated on.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it does because we are a little bit maybe protective of our favorite Kardashian or like especially of Chloe who is going to move their, a high needs brother into your space and then you're going to do that. So I think, I wonder how careful she will be. Or is she just going to be so excited when the right one comes along? She seems super comfortable. I don't know. Please tell me if you feel differently. But like, I feel like she's super comfortable single right now. And I do
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's great for her because you need that to
Yeah.
heal and to move on and to
Mhm.
grow and be a bit different. Like she needs to be a different human than, not entirely, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Than when she stepped into her relationship with Trashton or whatever. She needs to be a bit of a more new version of Chloe who's come out on the other side.
Oh, and she
can't go and
is.
hurt.
I mean, I feel like she's evolved into this. Like she's always been a great mom, but to see what she posts online, I know this
Yeah.
sounds very parasocial of me, but like
Well, hey,
she,
I'm the president of the Parasocial Club over here, so don't even worry about
we
it.
all
love
three
a
members.
parasocial
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
but I mean, she just seems to be such a wonderful mother who's
Mhm.
so involved in
Mhm.
her children's lives.
Unapologetically tells her family, leave me alone. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, like this is her ultimate reason for living. Obviously,
That's how she
Mhm.
feels. Yeah.
yeah, and you can tell she
Yeah.
really believes that and feels that.
And she's very real with it all too. Like she's talked about how since Tatum's came from surrogacy, how the whole connection process was very different. And that's relatable for a lot of moms, which is way different than what we would have been relating through Chloe with back in like 2009,
Mhm.
Yes.
right? Watching her get married and stuff like that. Like that was so we'll see again once she finds the right one, what we're connecting through and what she wants to let us know
I
about and let
know.
us in on. I'm gonna be really curious because I wonder what that version of Chloe is gonna be like.
I can't wait.
I know I can't wait either.
I just love how Chloe was very 40. I can't wait. Like it's going to be the best decade ever. And it's already
Mhm.
off to a huge success. She's launched new businesses, new
Yeah.
adventures that she's always wanted to do. And I think looking at the show, I don't know what they'll show for their love lives because obviously they keep so much to themselves. And
Mhm.
as much as a fan and like as a viewer, I'm like, show it all. But it's also like, too, like, I could not imagine how exhausting that is.
Yeah.
And just laying it all out there. But out of all of them, Chloe still to this day shows everything. And I think it's because for a while, Chloe was the only one that was a reality TV star.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
she was People's Choice reality TV star for years, back to back to back, still to this day. So I think for her, that was her job and kind of her
Yeah.
purpose. She didn't really have a business. She didn't really have that niche.
Truth.
And I think now she has the protein popcorn and all that stuff and like her podcast. And I think connecting with people is her
Yeah.
niche and
Oh,
her
it's her
passion.
superpower.
Yeah. So I think she's really honing into that because she's obviously had her own show. She's done things. She hosted America's Got Talent. She's tried. And I think she finally found where she's supposed to be.
Is she still doing Good American
Yep. Good
jeans?
American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so she does have her hands in different
Yes.
things, but
My favorite jeans that I own are my Good
Yes.
American pairs. Like they are great price point for like a this is gonna sound like an ad, but it's not an ad. For like how affordable they actually are. They're so comfortable
Mhm.
too if you buy the right size. And just like and you don't always get that from jeans because I'm not a jeans girly always. Like if I'm home, I'm in like leggings or joggers or whatever. And so feeling comfortable is important to me. And I wear Good American to even work at least once a month. I wear my dark wash like black pair. So comfortable, great brand. And that's
Yeah.
what the Kardashians deliver.
Mhm.
So
And if you think about each and every one of their brands, it is an affordable price range for everyone. Again, this is
Enough.
not an ad for any of their brands, but like
Yeah.
Lemmy, 818,
Yeah.
Kylie Cosmetics, Skims.
it's always that price point where you can feel like proud of affording it. They're very careful with
Yes.
this, you could tell. But also you're going to be able to pop the 100, 150 for a pair of Good American.
And you know that you're going to get something quality. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So like it's affordable enough where it doesn't hurt too much,
Mhm.
but you also don't feel like you're going to have to replace it
Yeah.
in a month.
Yeah.
And it feels like a piece of merch, but it's like it's
Mhm.
not, but it is. So like when
It's a
you buy
lifestyle.
something from their
It's a
brand,
lifestyle. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, the Kardashian lifestyle.
It is. It's at this point, it's not a last name. It is a lifestyle. And I think so too, that years and years and years of Chris putting in the work and finding the right people to partner with her kids. Because obviously
Mhm.
Kim with her fragrances had Kim Kardashian fragrances and then switched to KKW fragrance. You do one thing and you find a new partner that kind of like fits a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I think I do want to give credit to Emma and Hans Greed, who
Mhm.
are Good American partnered.
Yeah.
The Greed family did frame denim before Good American. So Emma was
Oh.
like, well, I have the connection with denim. Let's now
Yeah.
get someone involved that's going to like be the face. And I think Chloe, with her issues with weight and always being considered the heavier sister,
Yeah.
was a perfect fit. And I think that's where everything in your life is meant for you and your
Mhm.
brand. That's why I'm like so just unapologetically be yourself because
Yeah.
I'm gaming with a spray tan, honey. I work with Bondi Sands, the tanning brand. Like I didn't create that. It just came to me because that's part of my brand. And I
Yeah.
think that's why I love the Kardashians is that came to Chloe as like a no-brainer thing. And then Emma and Jan's obviously with
Yeah.
Skims, they're a part of that as well. So it's like
Wow.
you find the right people that get your mission
Mhm.
and it's smooth sailing from
Yeah,
there.
you bring up a great point about Chloe's background with her,
Mhm.
kind of fluctuating a bit with weight and having to work a little harder than maybe some of her sisters on that. And I can totally relate to that. As somebody who is super short, my weight has gone up and down, kind of throughout my life since I was like 10, just up, down, up, down. Nothing super duper crazy, but so like Good American was something I instantly related to. And the first pair I even tried was the like any size pants where like it
Mhm.
like fits like a size because right or there are like health issues where you might literally be different sizes in 1 week
Yeah.
because of bloating and things like that. So like it's just so cool, like the mission and the drive behind just a denim. It's
Mhm.
denim,
Yeah.
but there's more than just Chloe behind it. And I
Mhm.
think that's beautiful. And that's what their brands do. Again, it's like it's merch, but it's not at the same time. It's like it's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're living a Kardashian lifestyle if you're drinking 818 in your Good
Yes.
American jeans.
Your sprinter. Literally, but what I love too is like, because I worked at Bloomingdale's before
Yeah.
I started TikTok and in the denim department. So when we got Good American, I was like, here we go. Like, I'm so excited, like
Yeah.
getting to sell Chloe's jeans. I was just obsessed.
Yeah.
But I think now you go into the mall and like obviously Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, Chloe's there, Kim is there. You
Yeah.
go into Sprouts, Courtney's
Oh,
Lemmy's there,
yes.
Chloe's Popcorn. You go into Ulta,
Yeah.
they're all
Even
there. Like
Travis is in Sprouts too.
yes. So they're everywhere. The liquor stores, like there's not a place that you go that has
Yeah.
not been touched by the Kardashians or that you can buy something Kardashian.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, as a fan, is so amazing because it's like, It's not like you're just, hearing your favorite artist on the radio.
Right.
It's you're getting to go in and like purchase from your favorite celebrities
Yeah.
daily and use their products all the time.
They've literally influenced the world
Mhm.
and culture at this point.
Yes.
Culture, even the way we speak sometimes.
Oh,
Like, Bible
Exactly.
or
Bible, yes.
Right.
so they really have had a far reach on everything they've touched.
That's what I was just going to say. It's really hard to be alive today and to not have been touched by them in one way or another. Even if you feel like you don't like them,
Yeah,
there is some kind of influence they had in your life and you might not even know it.
exactly.
Mhm.
You might have been drinking or eating something and you didn't know it was Kardashian. I bet there's plenty of like straight dudes out there that have tried 818 and they have no idea it's Kendall Kardashian until,
Yes.
maybe a partner or somebody tells them.
You're going to get dragged in the comments because I always
Kendall
consider
Jenner.
Kendall as a Kardashian. I always say
Oh, well,
Kendall and
sure.
Kylie are Kardashians. Like the Kardashians,
True.
the Kardashians. And the amount of comments I get, like, they're not Kardashians. I'm like, honey,
We
they're
know.
Kardashians. They're
Right.
on the show, they're
They're-
Kardashians.
Exactly.
It's a name, it's a lifestyle, it's a brand.
Yes.
And that's why Chris,
They're
she's to
part
this
of
day.
that brand.
Honey.
There's a Jenner brand,
Yeah.
but the Kardashian brand is definitely one they're part of
Yeah.
as Jenner babies. So
Yep.
yes, okay, Kendall's a Jenner, but right, like if you're drinking 818,
Yes.
you might not know, right?
Yep.
And some people might not if they don't follow them, but you've been touched by a Kardashian Jenner.
It
Yeah.
reminds me of that scene in The Devil Wears Prada where Miranda Priestley is telling Anne Hathaway's character, "Oh, you think you made a decision when you chose that cerulean
Yes.
blue sweater? Well, let me just tell you, when you picked that out of the clearance bin, that was decided by us months and months prior, or whatever, however it goes."
Mhm.
And it just goes to show that, like, even the people, like you said, that don't realize they're being touched by the
right.
Kardashians, they're being touched, and they're a force. They're
Yeah.
a
Yep.
force to be reckoned with.
And we
Today's
know Gay Man
episode.
with the Spray Tan is going to be keeping us up on all things
Yes.
Kardashian Jenner. So we will continue to be following along so we know when the next season comes
Yes.
out, when the next branded exciting item or
Mhm.
kind of like partnership comes out. We'll be looking to you.
Tell our audience where they can find you.
Yes. So Game Out with a Spray Tan on TikTok and Instagram. And then when the show comes out, obviously I'm recapping that over on my YouTube channel. The Recap, spelled with a K, of course,
With a K.
with my amazing co-host Archie J. So we recap the new seasons of the Kardashians. So,
Incredible.
but honey, I'm keeping you up to date. That's all I can do. And that's literally, I'm just like,
And we
Food
love
God,
it.
Thank you, Food God, who's up there for blessing me with this amazing Kardashian life.
Yes.
Because I'm having the best time. And I enjoyed today so much. So thank you for having me.
Oh,
Thanks
thank you
for
for being
being
here.
here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.